Last month, I made over $60,000 in passive income. And because of this book, I've been able to start multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses, automate them, systematize them. And I've spent the last few months traveling around Europe and only working a couple hours a week. And during that time, my businesses made over $70,000 per month. And then after you subtract all my different expenses, like hiring virtual assistants to basically run my business and just other business expenses, these businesses made me over $60,000 profit per month. But there's 3 things that Tim Ferris lied about in this book. And these are secrets that you need to know if you want to start your own passive income business. And I'm going to show you how I did it, how you can create a passive income business, and the 3 things that Tim Ferris lied about in the 4-Hour Workweek. Though to be honest, I'm not mad at him. It's because of him and the things that I've learned that I'm going to share with you in this video that I've been able to travel, live wherever I want, and even buy a beach house in Mexico. So smash the like button because I had to learn the secrets I'm about to share with you the hard way. And that brings us to the first lie, which is that building a passive income business is easy and only takes 4 hours a week. And the truth is, I do think that if you have a solid step-by-step plan or a mentor that's going to show you step-by-step how to create your own passive income business, you can do it in 4 hours a week. But I didn't have either of these. And 10 years ago, when I first read this book, I was stuck in a corporate job. I was working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. I absolutely hated my job, and there was no motivation for me to work harder because if I worked my butt off, at the end of the year, I'd get a 3% raise, 4%, maybe a 5% raise. So I felt like I was stuck in prison. And it was around this time that I first read the 4-Hour Workweek, and it blew my mind because in this book, Tim Ferris talks about how you can create an online business and then you can automate it and systematize it using things like virtual assistants or software, which basically means that you have a business that's making money, you use these software and systems to automate it, and then you can remove yourself from the business, but the business is continuing to generate money, which means that you can spend your time doing whatever you want to do, living wherever you want to live, and basically live the life of a millionaire because you're making money and you have a lot of free time. And even if your business is only making $100,000 per year, if you had all the time that you were normally working, those 40 hours a week that you're normally working, but you could do whatever you wanted, you could live the life of your dreams. And this blew my mind because even though I was making good money at my job, from Monday to Friday, my job told me when to wake up, when I could take breaks, when I could basically go home from work, when I can sleep. They controlled my life. So I wanted to quit my job and start a passive income business. But to be honest with you, I was terrified about this idea of quitting my job. I asked all my friends, all my family, should I quit? Should I stay? And everybody told me that I should stay at my job. I was making good money. And so I stayed at my job. Even though I knew that there was this opportunity to create a passive income business, to make money online, I knew about that world and that sounded amazing, but I stayed at my job anyways because it was safe, it was secure, and every single day that passed by, I started getting a little bit more depressed. And I'd never been depressed in my life before. It felt like my life was hollow. It felt like all the joy, all my life was being sucked out of me every single day. And it got so bad that one day I woke up and knew that either I was going to spend the rest of my life absolutely miserable or I could take a shot and try to start my own online passive income business and at least see what happens. And my goal was to create a business that could make me $100,000 of profit per year. And I knew if I could do that, then I could hire virtual assistants. I could use software and services to automate it so that I could spend my time doing whatever I wanted to do. And I thought that I was going to be able to replace my income in 6 months, that in 6 months I'd be able to create this passive income business. Now here's the truth. It's hard to create a passive income business. It's hard to make money on your own. Most people have never actually made money on their own. Most people have only ever been paid by someone else that actually owns the business. And when I quit my job, I moved from Chicago where I was living because of my job, and it was the middle of winter, it was freezing, it was terrible. I moved to Miami because in my head, it's the exact opposite of Chicago. And I thought to myself, well, at least there'll be sunshine. But here's a huge lesson I learned. If you're trying to create a business, that's not the best time to move your life, especially if you're going to move to a place where you don't have any friends, you don't have any family. When you're creating your business, you want to be able to focus 100% of your energy on creating that business. You don't want to have to worry about finding a new grocery store or figuring out who you're going to hang out with on a Friday night. And the first week after quitting my job, I had such a bad panic attack. I had to check myself into the emergency room. And every single day for the first 3 months, I woke up with my heart racing, full of anxiety. It was as if a bear had jumped into my room. That's how I felt every morning when I woke up. It was a terrible experience because my entire life, someone had told me what I need to do to be quote unquote successful. Hey, you want to get an A in this class? You have to do the homework, make sure you do a good job. Hey, you want to get a raise? Make sure you do this work and do a good job on that work. But for the first time in my life, it was all on me. Every single decision I made was up to me. And as amazing as that freedom sounds, it's also debilitating. When you can do anything, and at that moment, I could do anything I wanted to, I could move wherever I wanted to, except for every single day that was going by, my bank account was getting a little bit lower. And the good thing is, I did save up about 3 years worth of runway, meaning I saved up enough money in my bank account that even if I didn't make $1 for 3 years, I would be okay. But the fear of watching my bank account get a little bit lower every single week was terrifying. And during this time, I was working on my first passive income business. And it was an online dance clothing company that I started with my mom. And basically we sold custom dance clothing and I was in charge of the marketing, building the website, all that kind of stuff. And my mom was in charge of manufacturing. And dance clothing wasn't something I cared about, but I saw this as an opportunity to make money. And I ended up spending the next several years struggling, working on this business. My first year after quitting my corporate job, I made $5,000 in profit for me. The second year, it was around $10,000. Third year, it was around $20,000. Fourth year, it was around $40,000. And you can see it's like 4 years since I'd quit my corporate job, and I was still making half of what I was at my corporate job. Now, the good thing is, during this time, I got to travel the world. I got to live in South America. I went to Asia. And even though I wasn't making a lot of money, at least I had my freedom. But I still felt like a failure because here it is 4 years after quitting my corporate job, and I'm making half of what I used to make. And I ended up even at one point having to move back into my parents' house. And I felt devastated. I had this dream that I read about in the 4-Hour Workweek about how I could make $100,000 per year and it's going to be passive income. And I had this light bulb moment and I realized, I'm selling something I don't even care about. Why don't I create a product that I'm actually passionate about, that I'm actually interested in? And at the time, I was very interested in eating healthy, and I saw that there was this trend. People were eating more and more healthy fats. And I noticed this in myself too. When I was a kid, I used to eat, just generic peanut butter. Then I upgraded to organic peanut butter. And at the time, I was actually eating almond butter. And so I thought to myself, is there even a more premium product? Is there something that's the best possible source of healthy fats out there, an on-the-go healthy snack? So I started experimenting in my kitchen, mixing together different things, and I found a blend that tasted amazing together. So I went to Instagram and started posting about it to see who was interested. And I got people to sign up for an email wait list and even got them into a Facebook group. And in this Facebook group, I would ask them questions like, which logo do you like better? And they helped me decide a logo. I showed them the packaging design. They helped me design the packaging, and they really helped me to create an amazing product. The problem was to do a production run of this product, to basically make the nut butter and put it in the pouches, was going to cost around $25,000. And I didn't have that much money. So I ended up running a Kickstarter, and I ended up raising around $15,000 on my Kickstarter. And I still didn't have enough money. So I took the money from the Kickstarter, I took the last little bit of my savings, I put everything I had into this production run, and I launched this product on Amazon. And the reason I picked Amazon is because it's the #1 e-commerce website in the world. In fact, 50% of all sales that happen online in the United States are from Amazon. And Amazon has over 100 million Prime customers. The benefit of selling a product on Amazon versus your own website is, on your own website, you gotta get customers to your website, which means you have to spend money on marketing, you have to convince them to actually go to your website, and then once they're there, you have to convince them to actually buy a product from your untrustworthy website. And I'd been doing this for years. My first company had its own website. We weren't really selling on Amazon, and I knew how hard it was to get people to our website and convince them to actually buy a product. The other benefit of selling your product on Amazon is they have a program called Amazon FBA, which stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, where basically you send your inventory into their warehouse, and whenever you get an order on their website, they pick, pack, and ship your product out to the customer, which means you don't need to be in the United States to sell products in the United States. And it also means you don't need to do a lot of work for your business once you launch your product on Amazon, because you're getting sales from all of Amazon's customers. Amazon is fulfilling the order for you, and that means that you can spend your time doing whatever you want to do. And the crazy part is, 2 months after I launched my product on Amazon, I did over $30,000 for that month. And once you subtract out all the different product costs, my Amazon FBA fees, all the other fees associated with starting a business and selling on Amazon, I did over $10,000 profit, which means if that continues, I'm gonna finally hit $100,000 a year in passive income. But I ran into an issue. I saw that I was gonna sell out of inventory, so I had to place an order for another production run, but I hadn't yet got paid for all the inventory I was selling on Amazon. So I ended up having to cash out my 401k, and I put every last drop of savings, everything I had, into this business. And over the course of the first year selling this product on Amazon, I ended up doing over $360,000 in revenue. And as cool as that sounds, that's just revenue. There's still a lot of costs associated with selling a product, starting a business, selling on Amazon. And the first cost I had was I had to pay for all those products that I was selling. That was, over $100,000. I also had to pay a fee to sell on Amazon's website. That was another $50,000. On top of that, they charge you a fee for being part of the Amazon FBA program, and they charge this fee to cover the shipping and handling of your product from their warehouse to the customer. I spent another $50,000 in those fees. On top of this, there was just a bunch of other fees associated with running my business. But still, in my first year selling this product on Amazon, I ended up doing over $120,000 in profit. I'd finally hit my goal. I was making over $100,000 per year. On top of that, it was relatively passive because Amazon was getting me new customers and handling my fulfillment. I also hired some virtual assistants, and you can hire a virtual assistant in the Philippines for $3, $4, $5 an hour, and they can handle all the customer service and all the other little annoying parts of running your business. So at this point, my business was pretty much automated, and this led to me having one of the best years of my life. I traveled, I moved to my dream location on the beach in Santa Monica, but still, it was a lot of hard work starting my business. But once my business was up and running, I was finally able to start living the 4-hour work week. And I realized that Tim Ferris never said that starting your passive income business was easy. In fact, in the book, he talked about how he was working 80 hours a week, how he slept under his desk. But here's the key. Once you have a business up and running, which does take hard work, you were able to systematize it and automate it and live that 4-hour work week. And so I was working 4 hours or less a week, spending my time traveling, going to the beach, doing the things that I love doing. I was the first ultra premium, high quality, keto, paleo, vegan friendly nut butter. But slowly, I started getting competitors coming in, selling a very similar product to mine. But the interesting thing is, despite having more competitors come in my second year selling this product on Amazon, I ended up doing over $400,000 in sales, over $150,000 in profit. And the reason for this is that I was the first product like this. So as other products came in, they spent money on marketing and the entire pie grew. And even though my percentage of the pie went from 100% of the pie to a smaller percentage of the pie, I still made more money. And this leads into the second lie about passive income. And that's that passive income does not last forever. In the third year of selling this product on Amazon, I did over $200,000 in sales, over $60,000 in profit. A pretty big decrease from the year before. And that's because more and more competitors came in, the market ended up getting really saturated, and while those other companies were working hard, spending lots of money on marketing, I was pretty much laying on the beach. Now, $60,000 a year for only doing a couple hours of work a week isn't bad. But if I would have put 100% of my energy and attention into this business, I probably could have blown it up, 10x'd it, made it a multi-million-dollar company. But that wasn't my goal. My goal was to make $100,000 in passive income a year, and I had achieved that. My goal wasn't to make as much money as possible. And that leads into the third lie about passive income, because even though I was making over $100,000 per year, my first and second year selling this product on Amazon, if I wanted to, I could have spent all my time laying on the beach and traveling. But I actually wasn't doing that. Even though I was doing more traveling and I was spending a lot more time on the beach, and I realized I enjoy working, but I want to work on something that I'm passionate about. If I'm going to sell a product online, I want it to be a passion product. And once that's automated and making me money, I still want to spend my time working on things that I find to be important. And that's why I started this YouTube channel, to share what I've learned. And I've worked with a lot of different people and helped them start their Amazon business. And some of them only make an extra couple $100, $1,000 a month. And other ones of them make more money than I did. But a big thing that I learned is that Tim Ferris never really actually lied to me. I read his book and I heard what I wanted to hear, but actually upon rereading it, he's pretty clear that it's not easy to start a passive income business. But let me tell you from experience, it's 100% worth it. My life now is 100 times better than it was when I had my corporate job, because I have the freedom to choose what I want to work on, wake up when I want to wake up. And the crazy thing is I actually wake up earlier than I did back when I had a corporate job, because I'm excited to work on the things that I'm going to do for the day. And anyone can do this. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And I put together that entire playlist of real stories of real Amazon sellers, people that are selling passion products on Amazon and what the results were. So click on that playlist and I'll see you in the next video. And thanks for watching.